So, what does $900,000 actually get you at Rocklin? Because depending on where you're coming from, you're either thinking that is insane or man, that's a steal. And here's the truth, both people are right. But here's where it gets interesting. It's not just about the house, it's about the version of your life that comes with that particular price point. Because I've had clients, shopping in that $900,000 price point and thinking they were getting one thing, but then kind of either being pleasantly surprised or maybe a little bit confused. I'm Reese, and I help people relocating here to the greater Sacramento area figure out exactly where they want to live based on their lifestyle, their budget, and their goals. And if you're even thinking about making a move out here, tap that like button, subscribe, and if you're ready, go ahead and reach out. Even if you're months away, having a game plan now will just save you a ton of stress later. Now, this video is for you if you're relocating or moving up or even downsizing, or maybe you're just trying to figure out, is $900,000 going to feel like a stretch or a smart move? Because the biggest mistake I see is that people focus on square footage and not lifestyle trade-offs. They say, I want 3,000 square feet, I want a pool, I want a big yard, and newer construction. And then Rocklin says, okay, which two or three of those four things do you really want? And that's where things get real. So instead of just showing you random homes, I'm going to break this down into real life scenarios. That way you can see exactly what you're buying into. You can get a pretty nice brand new home in Rocklin for around $900K or even less depending on size. But it comes with a catch. Here's the claim. You'll get modern design, energy efficiency, and low maintenance. And why that matters? That's peace of mind. No surprise repairs. Clean, fresh, turnkey. But what some people assume, especially those coming from out of the state, they think new build means lots of space, big yard, privacy. What actually happens is you're getting a home that's 2,200 to 3,000 square feet, but it's on a smaller lot, and often it comes with being able to high five your neighbors from your kitchen window. Example: I had a family relocating here from Texas, and they walked into a model home and they were like, "This is perfect." And then we went out into the backyard and kind of looked at the space, and they said, "This is it?" Who can benefit the most? Families prioritizing schools and safety and newer neighborhoods over outdoor space. So if you want new, you're going to sacrifice yard. But let's flip that. If you want space, you're probably going older. So here's the claim. For $900K, you're going to get a larger home and with a real yard. And why all that matters? Well, you get privacy and space and a lot of room to entertain and maybe even a pool already built in. And what people assume? They think older home means outdated and kind of falling apart. But what actually happens is you get, 2,800 to 3,500 square feet on bigger lots, but maybe 90s or early 2000 finishes. Great example. I had this client walk into a home and they just kind of looked around and they said, "It feels really dated." And I said, "But look at the bones." And 6 months later, they updated the floors and the kitchen and the bathrooms and new paint, and now it looks like something out of a magazine. And who benefits the most from something like this? Buyers who are okay trading style for size and space, because you can change finishes, but you can't change the lot size. Now let's talk about the one thing that nobody really budgets correctly. The mortgage payment on your $900,000 purchase is not your real monthly cost. Now this really matters because affordability hits after you close. When it comes to affordability, people are focused on, the mortgage payment and maybe their taxes, and they're done. The reality is Rocklin equals PG&E. And that means summer electric bills can get downright aggressive. In fact, personally experienced that myself. Before we got solar, our peak summer months were like $1,200 to $1,500 a month just for electricity. Then you add in HOAs and Mello-Roos on the newer homes, and increased maintenance costs on larger lots, and then increased insurance. And this can really have an impact on those buyers that are really kind of stretching their budget to hit that $900,000. So now we got the type of house and the cost. But what about the specific location within Rocklin? Not all Rocklin is created equal. I mean, not even close. That 900K buys completely different lifestyles depending on the location. A few things to consider would be like commute and schools and vibe and like even noise. People often assume, Rocklin is Rocklin, right? Well, sort of. I mean, all of Rocklin is great, but there's really two big distinctions. With West Rocklin, it's newer and planned and, just more uniform all around. But the east side of Rocklin is more established with bigger lots and more character. One buyer bought a newer home over on the west side in Whitney Ranch and then quickly realized that added about 20 minutes to their daily commute. On the flip side of that, I had another client choose the east side of Rocklin. They got an older home with more space, but much quicker freeway access. So one of the big considerations when you're kind of deciding between the east and the west side is where you need to commute to. Same price, but completely different life. Now let's talk about something that almost surprises everyone. 900K does not put you at the top of the market. Why it matters? Expectations. People assume, hey, I'm close to $1 million. I mean, I should get everything with this purchase, right? But in practice, you're still competing with those buyers that are in that $1 to $1.2 million range, and they win a lot. You could absolutely fall in love with a home listed at $875K and you offer $900K, and then another buyer comes in and offers $950 cash. Game over. Don't get me wrong, $900K gets you a really nice, good-sized home in Rocklin, but a mini mansion on the golf course with views just as far as the eye can see, you're going to zoom right past that $1 million price tag. And that can really impact those move-up buyers that are really, have their heart set on, they're expecting that luxury level inventory. So if it's not luxury, then what is it? 900K in Rocklin puts you in a very comfortable home. But I just wouldn't call it extravagant luxury. You're buying comfort and stability, maybe not so much status. And that really matters for your long-term satisfaction. You'll feel settled and secure and really solid. Families really love Rocklin because, we have great schools and clean neighborhoods and low crime and just a community feel. But if you're chasing ultra luxury and massive estates and private acreage, well, at 900K, it's not quite that tier. This really benefits families over luxury buyers. Maybe not quite as flashy, but very functional. So let's land the plane now. The 900K price point in Rocklin it's really perfect for families that want larger homes with great schools and stability. It's great for relocators from those higher cost areas that are really looking for value, and buyers that want a clean, safe, predictable environment. People who want their life to feel easy, and maybe not so ideal for those that are kind of chasing ultra luxury at this price point on like a massive estate, with a lot of space and acreage. Or if you're somebody that needs nightlife and walkability and energy, Rocklin might feel a little too calm. So what does 900K get you in Rocklin? It gets you choice. New versus space, location versus commute, monthly cost versus upfront price. But more than anything, it buys you that specific kind of life. And the biggest mistake that you can make is not actually knowing which version of that life you actually want. If you're thinking about making a move, call, text, email, whichever's easiest. All the contact information is down in the description. I'll help you break this down based on your situation so that you don't make a $900,000 mistake. Ready to stop scrolling and start making moves? Let's make it happen. Be sure to smash those like and subscribe buttons. Also, comment below where you're moving from. I'm curious. And I'll see you on the next one. That's a wrap.